The laughter was too loud for a Tuesday night. Too carefree. Too fake. I stood by the kitchen doorway, hidden in the soft shadow between the warm dining room light and the dim hall. My wife, Emma, was sitting with her younger sister, Chloe, at the table, half-drunk glasses of wine between them, their cheeks flushed with the kind of laughter that made memories or destroyed them. "I swear," Emma giggled, swirling her glass, "sometimes I think Daniel's too good for me." Chloe smirked. "Then I'll take him off your hands." It was supposed to be a joke. I could have laughed, maybe even joined them, if Emma hadn't replied. $20 and he's yours." The words hit me like a slap. I waited for the laughter, for her to say I'm kidding, but it never came. Chloe raised her brows, leaned forward with that teasing grin she always wore when she got too comfortable. "Sold," she said. And they both laughed. Except this time I didn't hear joy in it. Just something else, something sharp and knowing. I told myself to forget it. They were sisters, close and careless with words when the wine flowed. But that night when Emma came to bed, smelling of vanilla lotion and Cabernet, she kissed me too softly, too deliberately, like she was trying to erase something. That was the first sign. The second came a week later, when Chloe began visiting more often. She'd drop by for dinner, bringing her sarcastic humor and that perfume that lingered too long in the living room. Emma always seemed thrilled to see her. Too thrilled. I tried to brush it off. But then one night when I came home early from work, I saw it. Emma and Chloe sitting close, too close, on the couch. My wife's hand brushed against Chloe's arm, fingers lingering. A private smile passed between them. When Emma noticed me, she jolted like she'd been caught doing something forbidden. "Daniel, you're home early." Her tone was too bright. Chloe stood up quickly, avoiding my eyes. I forced a smile. Traffic was light. The silence that followed was heavy enough to choke on. A few days later I found the receipt. It was tucked into the pocket of Emma's coat, along with a lipstick I didn't recognize. The receipt was for a hotel 2 towns over. 1 night, 1 room, 2 glasses of wine on the bill. When I asked her about it that evening, she froze. "I went there with Chloe," she said too quickly. "We wanted to get away for a day. Girl time." "Girl time," I repeated, tasting the bitterness of those words. "Yes." Her voice softened. "You're overthinking, Daniel. You always do." Maybe she was right. Maybe I was just imagining things. But when I looked at her, I realized something had shifted. Her eyes didn't hold me the way they used to. There was a wall there now, invisible but unyielding. 2 weeks later I decided I needed answers. Real ones. I left work early again, this time on purpose. I parked a few houses down, my heart hammering like I was about to commit a crime. The house was dim, except for the light in the living room. I moved quietly, my steps careful, my breath shallow. Through the window I saw them. Emma and Chloe, on the couch, bodies pressed close, her hand tangled in Chloe's hair. The world went silent. For a long moment I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. My chest burned, my mind screamed that I was wrong, that I'd misread it. But there was no misunderstanding the way Emma's lips moved against her sister's. No mistaking the hunger in that kiss. I stepped back from the window, my vision blurred with tears I hadn't felt forming. They didn't even notice I was gone. That night I packed a bag and drove to the edge of town. I sat in my car for hours, staring at the empty road, the steering wheel cold under my hands. How do you even process something like that? It wasn't just betrayal. It was twisted. The woman I loved, the one I built a life with, sharing the most intimate part of herself, with her own sister. Every memory of them together suddenly felt poisoned. The laughter at dinners, the shared glances, the inside jokes, they all replayed in my mind like a cruel montage. By morning, I'd decided to confront her. When I came home, Emma was waiting at the door, eyes red, face pale. Chloe was gone. "Daniel, please let me explain." "Explain what?" My voice cracked. "That you've been sleeping with your sister." She flinched, tears spilling over. "It wasn't supposed to happen." "I swear it wasn't. We were drunk that night. It started as a joke, and then Then it got out of control. That night, I whispered. The night you said $20 and he's yours. Emma nodded slowly. We laughed about it later. But Chloe, she said she was jealous. That she always wanted what I had. I told her she could never understand. That love isn't something you buy. But then, she broke off, covering her face. I felt something hollow open inside me. You let it happen. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to hurt you. Her voice trembled. I thought I could stop it. But she needed me and I didn't know what I was doing. Don't lie to me. I'm not. She looked up, eyes full of desperation. You have every right to hate me. But please, Daniel, I still love you. I stared at her, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone in the world, and realized she was a stranger. Days turned into weeks. I moved into a small apartment downtown, surrounded by cardboard boxes and silence. Emma called, texted, showed up once at my office, begging for another chance. I didn't answer. Because love isn't supposed to feel like decay. It isn't supposed to rot from the inside out. But even in my anger, I couldn't stop thinking about her. About them. About how easily something sacred can shatter. Sometimes late at night, I'd remember the sound of her laughter, the one I used to love. And I'd wonder if she laughed like that with Chloe now. The thought made me sick. 3 months later, I ran into Chloe at a coffee shop. She looked different, thinner, quieter. When she saw me, her smile faltered. Daniel. I didn't reply. She hesitated before saying softly, I never meant for any of this to happen. I loved her, you know. But she loved you. I stared at her for a long time. You call that love? Her eyes filled with tears. No. I call it a mistake. And for the first time I believed her. Because the pain in her voice sounded too real to fake. That night, I went home and opened the old photo album Emma and I made in our first year of marriage. Smiling faces, road trips, birthday cakes, promises written in ink that had already started to fade. At the back of the album was a note she'd once written. You are my forever, Daniel. No matter what happens. I tore it out, folded it carefully, and burned it over the sink. The ashes floated up like ghosts before dissolving into nothing. A year later I saw Emma again by chance at a park. She was sitting alone on a bench, staring at the lake. For a moment she didn't see me. She just sat there looking small, fragile, haunted. When our eyes met, she gave a faint smile. Hey! Hey! We stood there, silent, the weight of everything unsaid pressing between us. Finally she whispered, I'm sorry. He nodded. I know. And then I walked away. Because sometimes forgiveness isn't about taking someone back. It's about finally setting yourself free from the wreckage they left behind. As I left her sitting by the water, the wind carried the faintest sound of laughter. Soft, broken, and painfully familiar. The same laughter that started it all. The joke that cost us everything.